Powdery fragrances seem to be having a bit of a moment on social media lately, and I think it's in part due to some attention that's come to light on this particular fragrance, which is Teint de Neige by Lorenzo Villoresi. I have spoken about this on my channel before. It's a nice fragrance, but it's not my favorite. And the reason for that isn't because I feel it's too powdery. I actually really love the powdery nature of this perfume, but it's also very, very sweet. I love powdery. I also can really enjoy sweet fragrances, but powdery and sweet together, if it's really concentrated and quite strong, is not going to be a love for me. So this one was a no for me. But as I said, I do really love powdery fragrances, and I thought I might just take a few moments to talk about some of my favorites. One of my absolute favorite powdery fragrances, and the one I probably think of first if I think I want to wear a powdery fragrance, is this one. This is Diora Moore by Maison Christian Dior. I heard a rumour that this was being discontinued. I'm pretty sure it's still available on the Australian Dior website. What I really love about this one is that it's quite a cool fragrance, and that to me makes it much more wearable all year round. Powdery fragrances are fragrances that I do tend to gravitate towards more in the wintertime because I'm looking for something cozy and warm, and sometimes that can be a little bit too much for me in the summer, particularly where I live, because our summers are very, very hot. So this is a really lovely one because I feel like I can wear it all year round. The main floral in here is jasmine, so it's very light, it's not indolic at all, and it's just a very pleasant one to wear. The next one is one that I have talked about an awful lot over the years, well, since I got it at least a couple of years ago. This is Panthea Iris by StefanUCA. It's predominantly an iris scent, and it's also very, very dry. So what I really like about this one is that the iris it doesn't come off earthy, it doesn't come off damp or particularly rooty either. So it's blended really nicely with florals, but as I said, it's a very dry, powdery feel to it, and also a little bit musky as well. I think that muskiness really helps to keep it light. And yeah, this one is just like a cloud when you wear it. It is so, so beautiful. There is a hint of sweetness in here, but it's not cloyingly sweet like I felt Teint de Neige was. The next one is one that is fairly recent to my wardrobe, and I've really been enjoying it. It is Vanille-Benjoin by Evanescence, and this one is a bit of a mix of creamy and powdery. It opens with a really sort of creamy vanilla note, but that doesn't last very long on me. It actually very quickly transforms into more of a benzoin fragrance, and the benzoin in here is very dry, which gives it a powdery feel without being too heavy either. So I'm really loving this one at the moment. One that I spoke about quite a lot, I think either early last year or maybe late 2023, I can't remember now. This is Poudre D'Or by Mise Cire. This one is interesting as well because it's got a lot of sort of tropical florals in here. I think it's quite heavy on ylang-ylang. And in the opening that comes off, the florals come off almost a little bit plasticky, but it has this beautiful powdery base to it. And the powder feels very golden. And when it dries down, it becomes very, very dry. So it's a really lovely combination. It's very addictive. And usually if I dig this perfume out once for a wear, I end up wearing it for at least a few days or a week all in a row because I just really find it hard to put down once I start wearing it. The next one is probably my most gourmand pick of the powdery perfumes, and this is Bellam by Les Abstraits. I just love this bottle. I think they're just absolutely stunning. This one is really hard to capture its beauty in words, to be honest. It's sort of suede-y, it's very floral, there's a lot of sweetness in there as well. There's meant to be like a chocolatey element to it as well, which sometimes I get and sometimes I don't. Like today, as I'm sniffing it out of the atomizer, I'm not really getting any chocolate facets at all. But it's an absolutely stunning perfume, and one thing it is heavy on, I think, is iris, and I think that's where the beautiful powderiness is coming from. And the last one, which is also in the realm of the more sweeter powdery perfumes in this list, is Love Delight by Amouage. Now, arguably, this is probably more musky than powdery, but there is definitely a powderiness to it. It's quite bright in the opening. There's lots of, I think, heliotrope and orange blossom and ginger, but as it dries down, it becomes more woody, a little bit on the synthetic side, but the powderiness remains, and it's very light and airy and not too heavy and overwhelming. And I just really love it.